Do you have trouble reading English? Would you like to read English faster with better comprehension without looking up words in dictionary frequently? If so, this video is for you. Here are 5 steps to improving your reading comprehension in English. So guys, let's get started. Read material that you actually enjoy. To improve your reading comprehension, you need to read a lot. This would be possible only if you read stuff that you find enjoyable, engaging, or interesting. Examples of good reading material, like non-fiction books about topics you like self-improvement, dating, programming, beauty, health, history, etc. You must read novels you love. Things about fantasy, romance, mysteries, adventures, and best-selling books. If a book sells really well, it's probably good, right? This kind of reading material is good because it grasps your attention and compels you to keep reading. On the other hand, if what you read is boring, you won't stick with it for long. That's why I don't recommend English reading applications or online reading exercises because the content is usually bland and boring. Don't believe me? Look at this random boring text from an English reading app. How excited are you to read something like this? I don't know about you, but if I use such app to improve my reading, I would quit very soon out of boredom. If you read something random just for the sake of learning English, reading will feel like a chore. You will get bored and read very little. But if you read things that naturally interest you, it will be easier to read a lot. Read books instead of online articles. My dear friends, when it comes to reading material, you have 2 main options. You can read books, either physical or digital books. You can read free articles on the web. Personally, books are my favorite type of reading material, and I recommend reading books instead of blogs, websites, or other types of reading material. Sure, reading stuff online is free, but other than that advantage, books are superior to online material in every way. Here are the reasons why you should read books. Books are usually more well-written than online articles. In many cases, book authors spend years planning, researching, and writing their books, right? When you buy a book, you get content that took someone months or years of their life to create for a low price. That's incredible. Online articles, on the other hand, usually take a lot less time to write, so the quality isn't as good. This is particularly true if you enjoy fiction novels. Most of the best fictional stories are in books. You will be hard-pressed to find great stories for free on the web. Reading experience. Most web articles and reading applications are filled with distracting elements like advertisement and pop-ups, which make the reading experience unpleasant. Seriously, how are you supposed to stay focused with all these distractions? On the contrary, books have no distractions, so it's easy to stay focused. When I read a book, I often get immersed in it, and I can read for a long period without much effort. It is not so easy with online articles, though. I can spend hours reading on the web and never reach the same level of focus and comprehension. Vocabulary. If you want to improve your reading skills, you need to expand your vocabulary, which means you need to read materials that is a bit challenging for your current reading level. Something that contains plenty of unknown words. Guys, books are perfect for that. I've been reading English books for many years and I still discover new vocabulary all the time. In fact, a native English speaker in his 40s once told me he still encounter new words in the books he read quite often. However, when I read online, I don't come across new words very often. You see, online articles tend to have simpler vocabulary than books. They also have simpler writing style. Actually, this is because most internet users are impatient and have short attention span. If they open a web page and see passage with complex sentence or advanced vocabulary, they will close that page in an instant. Therefore, many bloggers simplify their writing to use mostly basic vocabulary and short sentences to make their content super easy to read, which means you won't learn many new words by reading on the internet, unless you are a beginner. In contrast, book readers tend to be more patient and have a longer attention span, so book authors don't have to worry too much about using simple vocabulary and writing style. For this reason, books tend to have a richer vocabulary and more advanced writing style, which is good since it challenges your reading skills. Even if you are a newbie who might benefit from the simple language of online content, I still don't suggest reading them. There are a lot of quality books that are great for beginners. Read those instead. For example, the first two Harry Potter novels are fun, imaginative, and easy to read. What if you can't afford English books? My dear friends, English books can be pricey. For instance, in my country, the English version of the first Harry Potter novel is 35% more expensive than the translated version. So, what if you don't have enough money to buy English books? Or what if there isn't English bookstore near you? No worries, I have a solution for you. Read digital books instead of physical books. Guys, you can buy digital books from Amazon, the world's largest online bookstore. You don't need a Kindle, which is a reading device, to read digital books. You can read them with Amazon's reading application on your phone. And my dear friends, unlike physical books, digital books don't have printing or distribution costs, so they can be priced extremely low. In fact, on Amazon, you will find many books that are dirt cheap or free. And my dear friends, as a long-term Amazon customer, I can tell you there are plenty of good books that are cheaper than $3. If you read 3 of these books per month, you will pay less than $10 per month. Sure, some digital books are on the expensive side, $10 or more. But if they're good, I still think they are worth it considering the value you get from them. You get to improve your English reading skills while being entertained or educated at the same time. When browsing on Amazon, if you see an interesting book with zero price tag, click the Buy Now button immediately. You will pay nothing and the book will be in your account forever. Even if the author raises the price afterwards, you won't have to pay anything. Develop the habit of reading. After you get yourself few good books, it's time to start reading. Ideally, you should read every day. Actually, the good news is that this is not difficult to do, even if you're busy. There is always an opportunity to read. You can read on public transport, at the doctor's office, during your lunch breaks, etc. But you won't be able to do that unless you have your reading material on hand. So unless you read on your phone, always carry a book or your reading device, Kindle or tablet with you. Bring it along wherever you go. During those odd periods throughout the day, instead of playing mobile games or browsing social media like many people do, pick up your reading material and start reading. Or if you need a longer period of time to get yourself immersed in a book, you can schedule a specific time for reading, like in the morning or before bed. I personally use both approaches. I read during little moments throughout the day and also before bed. By doing so, it is easy for me to read 4 to 7 books every month, even though I'm not a fast reader. Replace reading your native language with reading English. And this is an easy tip to read more English. Each day, you probably read quite a bit on the web in your first language. You read posts on Facebook, news stories, forum, etc. But if you are going to read something, why not do it in English? If you follow Facebook pages, YouTube channels, and forums in your native language, replace them with similar pages, channels, forums in English. For example, let's say you enjoy reading cooking recipes from Facebook. You might start following cooking pages in English instead of following pages in your native language. If you participate in discussion forums, join sites like Reddit, not cite in your first language. Or if you're going to search the internet for certain information, do it in English. This way ensures that you are constantly exposed to English vocabulary. Don't fuss over reading the right way. Do you have to learn every new word you encounter? Should you make sure that you understand every sentence? Or is it okay to skip over a few words or sentences as long as you understand the main idea? Here's the answer. Just read however you feel like it. There is no right or wrong way to read. Just do what feels natural to you. In fact, you can use different reading styles depending on the material and your mood at the time. At least that's what I do. Sometimes I read for the main idea without looking up every new word. I do this when I'm reading something fun like a novel and want to enjoy it fully. My goal is to get immersed in the book, so learning vocabulary is not a priority here. I look up only words that seem important. Other times I read more slowly and look up every word I don't know. I take time to make sure I understand every small detail. And there have been plenty of times where I left a book unfinished because I had lost interest. As you can see, there are no rules you must follow, so don't overthink it. Just read. Use memory techniques to remember vocabulary better. My dear friends, there are a few memory techniques you can use to memorize words faster. And if used correctly, it is possible to memorize new words forever without relearning. My dear friends, whether you should use a memory technique depends on the device you are reading with. If you mainly read on the Kindle device or Kindle application, it may not be necessary to use these techniques because it is easy to look up words on the device application. Just simply tap on the word and the meaning will appear. But if you read mostly physical books and you often have to look up the same words in the dictionary or on the web over and over because you can't remember them the first time, then using a memory technique is a great idea. Vary your reading material. And guys, this last step is meant for intermediate readers and above. If you are a beginner, there is no need to apply this step. If you are consistent with your reading skills will improve steadily regardless of the type of material you read. However, if you want to improve faster, then you should avoid materials that is too easy. You must actually read something that is difficult. You know most of the vocabulary in simple readings. Sure, this might improve your reading speed, focus, and your ability to extract the main idea, but it won't increase your vocabulary much. And since vocabulary is such an important part of language acquisition, you should ensure your reading material is not too easy for you. The idea is to keep challenging your reading skills. Here are a few ideas on how to do it. If you have been reading books for children with basic vocabulary, switch to reading books for young adults, then books for adults. Read books on various topics. Books on the same topic tend to have similar subjects of English, similar vocabulary. Reading new topics is a great way to expose yourself to new sets of vocabulary. If you have been reading only non-fiction books, give fiction books a try, and vice versa. Doing so will ensure you are exposed to a wide variety of vocabulary and writing style, which will greatly enhance your English reading skills. Thanks for reading. I hope you find this guide useful. Reading in English is one of the best ways to spend your time. Other than improving your reading comprehension, reading expands your knowledge, exposes you to new ideas, relieves stress, entertains you, makes you more imaginative, improves your mindset, etc. Reading in English improves your vocabulary and grammar, which increases your confidence in your overall English competency. As a result, it becomes easier for you to improve other skills such as your listening or speaking skills. Have fun reading.